In April, I felt like I was on a roll, like I was doing pretty good at uploading videos, so I changed my banner to say that I'm posting a video every week, which is my intent, which is what I want to do, right? But like every other time, something happens. My life gets a little bit too hectic and I don't upload as fast as I want to. Today I'm like, okay, I'm gonna upload a video. I might do a live, or I'll just do another video, and I will get one up for this week because I'll be busy the next couple days. And I'm like, I really want to, meet my goal of posting every day. And I have a new subscribers, so like that's awesome. That's a good feeling, and I want to provide content. But I just spent like 20 minutes trying to put my mic back up because it used to be on my table like on a corner, and I took it off for, I can't remember for what, but I took it off, and I was just having the most difficult time trying to put it back on. And at first I'm like, well, maybe I'll just like move the little, this is what it is right here, this thing. I'm like, maybe I'll just put it on the side, and I'm like, no, you can't. So I put it in the front. Well, I was going like the wrong way, so the little like, it's like a little screw fell out. Then this thing right here, oh, it was right here, this fell apart, so I had to figure out how that went back together. And then I'm like, okay, well, fine, I won't use this mic. This is the mic that I like the best, but I'm like, I won't use it. I have another one by Catilla, this one right here, that's actually up here, and that one was already set up. It's, you can kind of see this thing right here, and so I'm like, I'll use that one, right? I can use that one, fine. Well, I plugged it in and it has like this noise to it, so it's not as clear as this one. So I'm like, okay, well, I can't use this one. I'm like, well, then maybe I'll use the stand and this mic. Well, no, this mic doesn't fit into that stand because it's too big. So here we are. I'm just gonna hold it and we're gonna make this freaking video. And yeah, so I'm not gonna go live because you guys would have seen that. Maybe it would have been good, but I have a few topics. One of the things that I want to start off with is welcome to anybody that's new, anybody that hasn't subscribed and is just watching this video. Hello, my name is Melly. I have been on YouTube for quite a long time, but I just have never been able to commit, I guess. I mean, I'm committed. My heart is committed, but I just have a crazy life. And a couple of years ago, I started with like carpal tunnel, so just my hands were not working how they should. I have some other medical stuff that kind of puts a damper on things. And so I've just been trying to keep up, trying to come with it. But over this last year, that I moved into a space of my own, and I have like a lot more space, and now I have like a little area even to film. I've just been trying to get back to it, but trying to, I don't know, balance like work life and business life and all this other stuff has been a little bit hectic. So I'm trying to find my happy medium, my balance, like I said. But I'm hoping that I can do a lot more videos. So if you have any ideas, I don't have like a niche per se. I kind of do whatever. I really love fashion, so I do some hauls from time to time. I recently did like a challenge. I think those are fun. I would like to do more fun videos, and also like vlogs. I have like a gimbal now. Like there's been things that I'm like, oh, I would really like that before I start vlogging, but also just being, comfortable with vlogging in public. But I am going to start. I also just got a mic. I think that's been a big hindrance. Like you can vlog without a mic, obviously, but my videos, I feel like, don't sound as good. I did a video when I went to Zion, and I think the video was cool, but you couldn't, the audio is pretty bad because I was further away in order, for you to capture the background. So that's just like a background stuff, but I thought I would share. If you all are wondering, like, oh, Melly says she's going to post, but then she doesn't. So I don't know, what do we want to talk about today? I have a couple of things, so I guess I'll start here. Just go down. I have a notebook with ideas, so that's why I say if you guys have ideas, like shoot them at me, but I have been brainstorming of things that I want to share with you all. So a couple of weeks ago, well, it's probably like over a month ago now, I did a video with some fellow content creators about friendships, and I want to do the series called What I've Learned in My 20s. So one of the things is like about friendships, and we had a great conversation. So if you haven't seen that video, I would recommend you go and watch it. But there's some things that I wanted to share with you all that I wasn't able to share through that conversation. One of the first things that I have on my list, which we kind of touched on, is that some friends or some friendships are not meant to be long-term. And I think this is really important. That's just something that I've had to learn. Like, you can have really good moments with people, really good short-term friendships, but maybe not all of them are meant to be long-term, especially because you grow. You know, some people, which is a good thing, I guess, for them, you know, they'll change, but maybe the way that they change may not be, you know, what you need in your life. And the way that you change may not be what they need in their life. So you will outgrow friendships, which it sounds kind of like, I don't know, kind of bad, but you will outgrow. And I think this is something that is really important, especially for people that are like in high school, or maybe are just have had like long-term friendships and then all of a sudden it changes. Like, it's not totally a bad thing. Like, it can kind of sting to lose a good friendship, but some of them are temporary. So I attended the Disney College program in Florida years ago, and you know, I lived with I lived with 5 people, but for 4 months. And these are people that, you know, you just get thrown in there, you live with them, you share bedroom, because they had, you know, like 2 people per room in the complex that I was at. And it's kind of crazy, you know, you really care about these people, you become friends with these people, you share, you know, really deep things with these people. When I was there, a lot of us went through like deaths in our families, or close friends, and we were there for each other. So it was like, I mean, I don't know if the word is special, but I guess we did have special moments, things that, you know, we only shared. After I left, I did go visit one of the girls, I think the following year, but I've really only stayed connected with one of them. And it's kind of sad because I'm like, damn, we had something like we really connected in that time. But now that we're further apart, like, there isn't that connection, or isn't that, you know, for some of us, there isn't that need to continue those friendships. And I did try to connect, like, with some of the girls, you know, wishing them happy birthday on their birthdays, just sending messages and saying, hey, you know, how are you? But they never responded. So that told me, like, okay, that was just a temporary friendship. Like, it was good while it lasted, but it's not meant to continue. And the people that do want to continue them, like, you'll know. And that's what that one friend, a couple years ago, I went to Hawaii, I went to Honolulu, and she lives on the Big Island. And, you know, I told her, and she actually flew over there, was with me for a day or two. That's all that she could. And we had a great time. And it was so awesome to see her. So I hope that I can see her again. And I think I can. Like, I think if I were back there or she was over here, we would be able to connect. Number 2, this one I learned, I feel like very early on. I have a few sisters, and 2 of them, my older sisters, they're like best friends, and we are very different. Like, the both of them, they're very similar. Like, you know, they're best friends, their husbands are best friends, but I've learned that, like, they're not my friends. And I know that sounds bad, and I don't mean it even in a bad way. I just mean, like, we connect different. We connect as sisters, you know, like, I know that I can call them and they're going to be there for me because they're my sisters, but like, I don't think we share a friendship. And that's okay. But it is kind of like, it's kind of weird, I think, because I think, and it's only weird because I thought, you know, like, you always grow up like, oh, hearing like, oh, they're going to be best friends, or you have siblings that are best friends, but they are best friends, it's just not my friend. So that's something that I learned, and I think it's okay. You just have to find, you know, those friendships elsewhere. And if you do find it in your sibling, like, that's awesome. But it's also okay that you don't, and you don't have to try to force it when it's not there. This one I actually stole from Google, because I was like trying to, you know, when you think of an idea, but then like as soon as you're like, oh, I have so many things but then you start to write them down, they don't come to you. So I'm just like, okay, let me see if I resonate with anything that Google says or those articles on Google say. And so I found this one that says that, well, I don't know, this is probably not the right wording, but what I wrote was, what you say to your friend, she will share with her man. So this one was like particular, like if she starts dating somebody new and they're connected. And so I think that's really important, because a story that they were sharing was that the female, okay, so there's a female and a guy. Well, her friend starts to date the best friend of the guy, her friend's guy. And so I guess she tells something to the girlfriend, and then she tells her man, and then that man goes back and tells, the boyfriend of the one girl. And like that kind of sucks. But I can totally see it, once I feel like there's friendships and there's relationships, and a lot of the time the female is obviously going to choose her man. So you got to be careful with it, and that's kind of sucks, because your best friend, like, I mean, at least to me, what a best friend is a person that is going to keep your secrets, is going to have your back. But the reality is that even like they might not share it as like in a malicious way or thinking they're doing something bad, they just share it, and their guy might not be as secretive as the female. So you got to be careful. Whatever you share to her is probably going to be related to him, because they become like one. So just a thing to note. Number 5 is that you may have different friends for different things. And that's okay, especially if you're like me. Once you get older, everybody starts having kids. And if you don't have kids, like, you're not going to find, more than likely, if they're a good parent, you're not going to find the girlfriend that's just going to be like, oh, let's go and do whatever, because they have their kids. But, I mean, you might have another friend who their kid is older, so their kid stays home, or can stay home by themselves, or they can bring them along. Or, you have a friend that doesn't have kids as well that you can hang out with, or you may have friends who have a similar schedule than you. So you do certain things with different friends. And so I think that's okay. Some people, I get offended when they're not invited to certain things. Like, I used to work at a spa. I was going to say where, but I used to work at a spa, and there was, a lot of females. A lot of them had worked there for a really long time. And we had like a group of the OGs. I wasn't an OG, but I fit in with them. So there was that group, and then there was like another group. So, everybody would be invited, let's say, to the potlucks or to some of the birthday dinners. But then other ones would be invited to like certain things, because there was always the girls that would say like they wanted to be invited to just be in the chisme, but they wouldn't actually go, or you didn't really want them to go. So like you would invite different girls for different things, and that's okay. Like, and sometimes like maybe you do have like a really good friend, but they maybe are not as available as much. So then you do got to find another friend that does this. And it's not like you're trading one for the other. You just have choices. This one is a good one. Friends are not yes people. I feel like I am not a yes person. Like, I do not want to just tell you yes to make you feel good. I mean, I want to make you feel good as your friend. And I think friends are there to hype you up. But you also don't want a friend that's just going to be like, oh, yes, this, but maybe it's not the best choice for you. And it's okay to have a little bit of conflict with your friends. And I don't mean conflict where you guys are always arguing or putting each other down. Not like that. I just mean like conflict where you can disagree, and that's okay. Like, you guys are not always going to be on the same page, and you want somebody that's going to be straightforward with you, and not just be, telling you you're pretty just because they don't want to hurt your feelings. You might look horrible in that dress, and they might just be like, oh yeah, you look good, but then it just ends up worse. So you don't want a yes person. You want somebody that's going to be truthful and honest with you, and just trying to seek your best interest. Another good one that I really want to mention is that I've learned that real friendships are where you can be you. You can be like the realist version of yourself. And I know that you might be hearing this and be like, oh, well, no, duh, you know. But a lot of us are in friendships that are not like that. Like I was around people that I knew for a really long time, and I just wanted to be, keep that, I guess, friendship alive. So I would go around, but I just could not. I wasn't myself. I could not be myself because they were offended. Like we would always end up like in things like, oh, they would end up mad at me for no reason, and I'm just like, what did I say? And I would go back and I'm like, oh, like that wasn't like it would always get turned. So I just felt like if I went in there and I didn't really talk when I was there, that it would look bad. But then if I talked, it would look bad. And I am, a person that is just honest. I like to be real. I do call myself big mouth sometimes, like hocicona. But I don't do it like, I'm not going to do it maliciously. Like I'm just being honest. And sometimes I'm like, oh, I shouldn't offend you if it's like the truth. Which as I'm saying it, I know it sounds bad, but I don't mean it like bad. And I also will call out people too. Like, and I'm calling you out, like if you do something wrong, I'm going to call you out. Like it's not like you're doing the bad thing. I'm just saying that you're doing the bad thing. But anyways, I got to the point where like I was just uncomfortable. And there's been other like like, not that I'm starting to, call these people my friends, but I've been in other scenarios when I've been, hanging out with people. And like one of the things that I like to do is film. So if I go to a new place, I want to film the food, I want to film the spot so I can post it. And people get so offended by that, and it just it just pisses me off. Because like I'm not capturing you. I'm not filming you. I'm not doing anything that involves you. Like this is my food, my space. And people just like make stupid comments. And so like I know that like that's not the type of people that I want to be around, because I've been in a space where like I've been good, I've been me, and I can be real, and like nobody says anything. Like they're my friends. So I think that's so important to be able to evaluate your friendships and really see like can you be authentic? Because if people are judging you or like talking crap about something that you actually enjoy, then maybe those are not your people. And sometimes it's okay to realize that and let it go. I mean, it might be hard. It's one of those things that's sometimes easier said than done, but it's honestly so much better. Just telling you from experience. And the last thing that I want to add, let's see. Oh, okay. This one, give time to the ones that want to be your friend, and get rid of the ones that don't. This kind of goes back to that thing, when I was talking about some friendships are temporary. I've always considered myself to be a good friend, and as if you watch other videos, I talk about like levels, right? Like you're my friend versus just my friend and my acquaintance. But I always consider myself a good friend, and I feel like over the years, I have given a lot of time to people that are not worth my time, that people that did not reciprocate a good friendship. And that's one thing that I've learned. Like, I just gotta let them go. Like, stop trying to give them so much time. Stop trying to help them so much. Stop trying to be there for them when they're not doing the same for me. I reached out to people that I thought were my friend, and, I'm like, oh, I try to hang out with them, and they never want to hang out, they never have time, they never this, or they say they do, but then they don't actually follow through, but they're doing X, Y, and Z. And that just tells me like, okay, these people don't want to be my friend. Like they don't, like, I don't know what it is, but why am I wasting my time? Why am I supporting them in X, Y, and Z, and they're not doing the same for me? So I think your time is really, really important. So you want to give it to the people who truly care for it, that truly appreciate it. those are some of the things that I learned during my 20s about friendships. I would love to hear what you all have to share. Maybe there's something that you're in your 20s, whatever stage you're at, whatever age, something that you would pass on, to your daughter or somebody younger that you would want them to know about friendships. And if you haven't watched my video, the conversation with some lovely ladies on my channel, go and check it out. I think it's called What I've Learned in my 20s, friendships. So check it out. Leave me a comment, leave me a like if you like this video. Thank you all for watching. I will see you in the next one.